Hi, this is Tim from Lanessa Farms. I want to take a moment today to talk to you about some of the specific tail docking tools that we use on our farm. This specialized tool can be purchased on Premier, or it can also be purchased from local stores such as Tractor Supply or Rural King. What I like about this tool is it cuts and clamps the tail at the same time. As you can see, I have a clamping side here, which actually crushes any arteries and veins that are in the tail, and this side over here cuts. There's an open channel area here where the cutting device goes through. Nice long handles for lots of leverage. Now we choose to do this on our farm instead of banding for a couple different reasons. One, because we have a lot of lambs and we don't want tails laying all over our pasture. And two, although it's a little bit more traumatic for the animal up front, we feel that it's less traumatic overall and provides them with a cleaner cut that isn't going to be open to infection. Now, as you may know, or what would make sense to you would be, hopefully, that the clamping edge is what needs to be up against the animal. This is going to be what's clamping and crushing the arteries and veins. Obviously, if you were to do it the wrong way, we would be cutting and then clamping on part of the tail that's no longer attached to the animal. It's not going to do a whole lot of good. Getting into a hurry with this tool is not going to go well for you. When you cut the tail on a lamb, I want you to make sure that you wait at least 10 seconds. And by 10 seconds, I mean 30. Wait a long time before you let go. All right, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Much, much slower than that. And I want you to hold these as tight as you can when you're performing the task as well. We want to make sure that we crush and give the arteries and veins a chance to clot before we stop. Now, if you watch our videos on tail docking, you will see me use this tool, and I'll explain a little bit more to you about the docking process. I just wanted to give you this video so you would see something a little bit more close up and help you to become a little bit more familiar with the tool itself. So in the links below, I'll make sure that I put a link to the tail docking video, and you'll actually get to see me use this, and you'll have a little bit better understanding for how it works. Now, before I let you go today, I want to talk to you a little bit more about this tool. And the reason is out of all the things that we do on our farm, if something's going to go wrong, it generally tends to go wrong with this tool. No matter how long I hold the clamping device on the lamb's tail, for some reason, it seems like some lambs' arteries or veins just do not clot. I've had some lambs where I've held it on there for 30 seconds. I've had some I've held it on there for a minute or two. I let go and they still tend to bleed. This is a problem, and it could potentially be a life-threatening problem. Now, I'm a healthcare provider, so I tend to have things laying around like hemostats. If you happen to have hemostats, you can use these. This tool would be used to specifically go in and clamp onto an artery or a vein that's causing you trouble. Chances are most of you don't have these laying around the house, and if you do, you're not qualified to use them in an appropriate manner. So here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Blood clot powder is good for minor wounds. It does not work for arterial bleeding. You can apply as much blood clot powder as you want, and chances are it's going to continue to bleed. You're going to have a big wad of blood clot powder on there, and it's not going to do you any good. Direct pressure, although it sounds like it might be a good thing to do, again, in this case, it generally doesn't work. So I will say this. If you are going to use this tool, you absolutely must have a banding tool available as well. And here's the reason why. If I use this tool and I cut the tail and I hold it for an appropriate amount of time and I still have arterial bleeding, chances are I'm going to have a heck of a time getting it to stop. If you do this, if you use a cutting tool of any kind and you have a significant amount of bleeding afterwards, I want you to have a banding tool that's ready. If the tail is still bleeding, what I want you to do is I want you to take your banding tool, place it over the tail about a half of an inch to a quarter of an inch above the cut site, and I want you to band the tail. This will keep the tail from bleeding, and although it's not ideal, it is what is safest for the animal. In the links below, I will include directions to our video discussing proper use of the banding tool in case you have any questions.